So go ahead and get started in that child's pose position that we're familiar with, right? So bringing your knees out wide, bringing your big toes to touch behind you. Arms are going to be out nice and long, resting that forehead down on the ground. And just try to take some natural, deep breaths here. Maybe the deepest breaths that you've taken yet this morning. Try to let your shoulders relax. Massage out that forehead by moving your head back and forth if that feels good. And then come up on your fingertips and walk your fingertips just a little bit further forward, but keep reaching those hips back towards your heels. Nice stretch down the back line of the body. And then staying on your fingertips, walk those out towards the right side. Push your hips off to the left. Thinking about creating separation between each of those ribs. So you might need to move your hands a little bit further to the right and your hips off towards the left. And then back to your fingertips, crawl to the center and then all the way over to that left side, pushing your hips off towards the right. Think about bringing that right armpit a little bit closer to the ground. And then come back to center again and bring your palms to touch, bend your elbows, and then bring your thumb towards the back of your neck. And then on your elbows, just crawl your elbows forward a couple steps, and then reach those hips back towards your heels a little bit more. Feel that stretch in between your shoulder blades. All right, reach your arms long again, and then go ahead and come up to a tabletop position. So hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Let's do a couple cat-cows here. So first, dropping your belly, pulling your chest through your shoulders, looking up slightly, and then go ahead and tuck your chin, round your tailbone, trying to push through that space in between your shoulder blades, getting into that cat. Go ahead and do a few of those at your own pace, back and forth. You might push your hips off to the left and right if that feels good. Just warming up your spine. I don't know about you all, but I've been sitting a lot today, this morning, and it's only, not even 11, so. All right, next thing we're gonna do is some bird dogs. So these are really great for your low back. Push your right foot back, flexing your toe. Try to square your hips down, right? So your leg's not really all that high because we wanna try to keep our right and left hip level. And then reach your left arm forward, bicep by the ear. Point your thumb up towards the sky. So think about tug of war here, right? So really push through that right heel, reach through your fingertips, and then crunch it underneath, knee to elbow, and then reach. Let's do this 3 times. 2, reach as far as you can. 3, push through that heel, and then hand and knee come back down. Let's go the other side here. So if you're balanced, if you're feeling like, oh man, I'm falling all over, just widen your knees, maybe even widen your hands a little bit, right? You're just trying to get a good base there. Kick your left foot back, push through your heel. You might have to drop that hip a little bit more to get it squared, and then reach your right arm forward. Think about trying to get that full extension, right? Really push through that right heel, reach through your fingertips, and crunch underneath for 1. Reach, 2, reach, 1 more, reach, and then hand and knee back down. Next, go ahead and tuck your toes, and then I just want you to sit back, right? So I find this stretch to be very uncomfortable, which tells me that I probably need to do it. So if you don't have shoes on, reach back and try to untuck your pinky toe. So all 5 toes are on the ground, and you're just sitting on your heels, just trying to stretch those toes a little bit. You might even move your hips left to right, kind of massaging that out. It's already very uncomfortable for me. I'm not sure about you all, but let's go ahead and come back to that tabletop position, and then untuck your toes. And then you're just gonna kind of tap out your feet a little bit. Relax those toes for a second. And then tuck them back under again. We're gonna go to a hovering tabletop. So spread your fingers out wide, wrists right underneath your shoulders, And then bring your knees off the ground a couple inches, right? So it's kind of like a plank, right? Modified plank. So push through that space in between your shoulder blades. Keep your knees bent, but push through your heels, getting your legs just a little bit more active. And let's just go 10 more seconds here. Nice, steady breath. Then we're gonna come up to a down dog position where we're bringing our hips high. In 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and lift those hips up high. And then take your feet back maybe a step or two. Keep a nice bend in your knees, and then bring your chest a little bit closer to your quads. Relax your head. Relax your neck. Then from here, try to reach your heels a little bit closer to the ground, just to get a stretch through the back line. And then pedal out your feet right and left, letting your hips move, your knees, your ankles. Good. From here, go ahead and roll forward to a high plank position. Hands are going to be right underneath your shoulders, right? Getting active, tucking that tailbone under slightly. And then go ahead and lift your hips up high. Let's go to that down dog position again. So nice big bend in the knee. Bring your chest towards your quads. And then roll it forward again to that high plank position. Maybe rock forward on your toes a little bit more. And then hips up high again to that down dog. Nice big bend in the knee. Good. Roll it forward to that high plank one more time. And then take that right foot up off the ground so you're just into a one leg plank. And then bring that right foot forward, set it outside your right hand. Go ahead and drop that back knee. And then take your right hand, push on the inside of that right knee. Come on the pinky side edge of your foot. Pull that right shoulder back. Look over your right shoulder. Let your left hip come a little closer to the ground. And then square your shoulders back up to the front. Get that right foot flat on the ground. And then shift your hips back to that half split. Nice bend in that front leg. Flex that right toe towards your face. And then lean over that front leg. Right? Really looking to get in the hamstring there. So you might need to pull your right hip back a little bit more. Tucking your chin actually helps a little bit too. And then go ahead and crawl back forward, both hands inside your right foot. Lift that left knee off the ground. So this is a runner's lunge, right? So from this runner's lunge, take that right foot back to meet your left and you're in your high plank again. And let's go the other side. So left foot lifts, bring it forward, set it outside that left hand. Go ahead and drop your back knee. And then push on the inside of that left knee. Pull that left shoulder back. Relax that right hip. Look over your left shoulder. All right, square it back to the front. Left foot is flat on the ground. Shift your hips back. Flex that left toe. Lean over that front leg. And then, you can also think about where are your hips, right? How does it change the stretch if I push my hips off to the right or the left? And every day it might feel a little different. All right, crawl back forward, both hands inside that left foot. Lift your right knee. You're in that active runner's lunge. Then from here, let's go to a couple squats. So go ahead and take that right foot forward and set it on the ground outside your right hand. We're down into that really deep squat. So from this position, right, bring your hands to heart. Try to push those knees out with your elbows, like you're trying to pull your hips underneath your shoulders as much as you can. And then from here, go ahead and take your fingertips on your toes and then lift your hips up nice and high. So from this position, your back might be rounded, right? You can sway left, right, just trying to warm up your hips, your low back. And then keep your fingers on your toes, drop back down into that squat one more time. Keep pushing those knees out. Okay, here's a new one. This one's a little bit harder. So keep your left hand on your left toe and then reach your right arm up towards the sky. So look up towards that right hand. Keep pushing that right knee out, right? And your hand might be here. That's fine, right? That's where your mobility is. Good. And then let's switch it out. So right hand comes to that right toe. Left arm reaches. This side might be different than the right. Mine is significantly different. Just keep looking up towards that left hand. Push both knees out. And then left hand back to that left toe. Let's lift our hips one more time. Take a couple breaths. Bend your knees, sway left, right. And then from here, go ahead and put both hands on the ground and then step your right and left foot backward back into our high plank position. Let's do our hips again. See how that changes. So lift your right leg up, bring it forward, set it outside that right hand. Go ahead and drop your left knee, and this time bring your shoulders back. So in this position, first check, right, is my right knee over top of my right ankle? If it's not, just move it. And then put your hands on your hips. Think about actively pull your right hip back, push your left hip forward, and then reach your arms up overhead. Biceps by your ears, palms facing each other. And then take your left hand and grab, or your right hand and grab your left wrist, and then push your hips off to the left, right? So from this angle, you're pushing the hips off to the left, right hand is grabbing your left wrist, and then trying to keep those shoulders in the same plane. So you might need to pull your left shoulder back a little bit more. But where you want to feel this is the front of that left hip. Good, both arms back up over top. Let's go to a half split again. Shift those hips back. Lean over that front leg. Hamstring might feel a little better this time, the second time around. All right, go ahead and crawl forward. Both hands inside that right foot. Lift your back knee. Left hand stays planted, and then reach your right arm up. Simple twist here. So from here, push up through that left hamstring, push your right knee out, and then pull that right shoulder back, looking up towards your right hand. Good. Set that right hand back down, and then take your right leg back to meet your left. Let's go the other way. So left foot lifts, bring it forward, set it outside that left hand, right knee drops, and then bring your chest up. Check your knee and ankle are in alignment. Hands on your hips, push your right hip forward, pull that left hip back, right? Still thinking about lots of weight in that left heel. And then reach your arms up overhead. Left hand grabs your right wrist this time, and then push your hips off to the right. Again, pay attention to where your shoulders are. You might need to pull that right shoulder back, looking to get a nice stretch through the front line of that right hip. And then both arms up overhead, back to that half split, hips back, lean over that front leg. Keep flexing that left toe. And then crawl back forward, back knee lifts, right hand stays planted, left arm reaches up high. Think about getting strong and straight out of that back leg, pushing that left knee out. Pull your right shoulder back, look up towards that left hand, and then put that left hand down. So here's a change. This time you're gonna walk your hands to the center, ending in a wide forward fold. So legs are wide. You're gonna keep a bend in your knee, and then the weight should be on the pinky side edge of your feet. So it's almost like you're cupping the ground, right? Big toes down, and then the edge of my feet there. Let your head and your neck hang heavy. And then if you feel comfortable and balanced enough, grab opposite elbows with your hands just to create a little extra weight. Let your body weight come towards your toes. All right, go ahead and bring your hands flat on the ground, and then you're gonna come to a halfway lift. So from that position, you're looking to get your back a little bit flatter, right? Rather than rounded out, getting your back a little bit flatter. Legs might be straighter than what they just were. And then from that position, come up on your right toe, and you're gonna come to a lateral lunge towards that right side. So you need to check someone in real quick. All right, so this lateral lunge right here, right? Externally rotate that right foot. So think about flexing that left toe. You can keep a bend in the knee, right? We don't wanna be hyperextended there, so a slight bend. And then right hand's gonna place on the ground inside of your right foot. Push on that right knee with your right elbow. and then left arm is going to reach up high. So from this position, try to pull that right shoulder back, really reaching up towards the sky, still pushing that right elbow in towards your right knee. Good, and then set that left hand back down. Go ahead and lift your hips up high again. And we're gonna crawl to the other side. So come up on that left toe, and then we're down into that lateral lunge. Flex that right toe towards the face. Left hand is gonna plant in front of that left toe. Push on that left knee, and then right arm reaches. Keep flexing that right toe up towards the ceiling. Push into that left knee. Look up towards that right hand. Good, and then right hand comes back down. Go ahead and lift those hips up high, and then turn back around towards the front so your both hands are going to be inside that left foot. And then go ahead and take your right foot back to meet the left. We're back in our high plank. And from here, go ahead and lower all the way down. Stretch out our shoulders here a bit. So let's go into that scorpion. Right arm out towards the side. Let's start in a goalpost position. Left hand is underneath your left shoulder. Right ear comes towards the ground. And then left leg comes up and over to that right side. So really looking to get some weight onto that right shoulder so you can push into that left hand. You can also move your right arm depending on the position that feels best. And then go ahead and roll back to center. Let's go the other way. Left arm out, left ear on the mat, right leg comes up and over. All right, roll back to center. Get both hands underneath your shoulders there. Tuck your toes and try to get to where you're hovering off the ground. And once you feel nice and strong in that position, go ahead and push all the way up to a high plank. And then you can get a bend in your knee. Walk your hands all the way back to your feet, ending in a ragdoll. So a nice big bend in the knee. Chest is going to rest up against your quads. And then opposite hands to elbows. Letting your head and your neck hang heavy. You might even move left to right. Let that weight come towards your toes a little bit more. And then let your arms go along to the mat. We're going to go back to that halfway lift, right? So bring your palms to your shins. Pull your shoulders back. And then push through your hips to try to get as long from the top of your head to your tailbone. Good, and then hang it down heavy again, back to that ragdoll position. And then let's go ahead and crawl back forward one more time to that high plank. You can go ahead and drop your knees and then sit back on your feet there. All right, well, there's a little mobility magic to get our heart rate up. That felt lovely. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is a little bit of shoulder work and a little bit of core work here. And we're gonna do it on the clock, right? So, which I think we can all see. But we're gonna go every minute on the minute for 12 minutes. And this is in the chat box if you wanna give it a peek, or you can just listen. So the first minute, you're gonna do 15 strict shoulder press. And I'd like you to do this from a kneeling position. So you got all kinds of different equipment you could use, right? You could use a backpack, you could use a stick, right? Like a broomstick. You could use dumbbells, you could use milk jugs, any of those, okay? So your first thing is going to be 15 strict press. So I'm gonna be in a kneeling position, stacked, right? Here's my base is my knees, then my hips, then my shoulders, and then the weight are all gonna be in one line, right? So I don't wanna be here, or I don't wanna be here, right? Okay, so the weight, whatever weight I'm using, starts at my shoulders, and then I'm just coming straight up overhead, right? So our first movement there is gonna be 15 of those on the first minute, okay? Once you get done with 15, rest, right? And then minute number 2, we'll start our next movement. So the next movement is hollow rocks. I'll just demonstrate them here, and then we'll go through the progressions during our first round, right? So hollow rock is that little small movement, kind of looks like the bottom of a rocking chair. You can always modify with hands forward or one leg there, okay? So second minute, you got 20 of those. You got a full 60 seconds. So you can always break them up as you need to, okay? So the next one is lateral raises. We'll do this in that same kneeling position, okay? And all you're looking to do is raise that weight up to about parallel and then back down, okay? It's a very small movement. We're not looking to, use our hips here. Again, you're looking to stay nice and stacked, just bringing it up, okay? So 15, again, you got a full 60 seconds, break them up how you need to. And then the last one is the plank knee to elbow. We'll do these in a high plank, right? So high plank position here. You can go right knee, right elbow, or you could cross, right? It's really up to you, but you're trying to keep your hips level with your shoulders. Don't let your hips pop up kind of like that down dog position. You want to stay in a plank there, okay? All right, so we got 4 movements, 12 minutes. That means we'll go through it 3 times, okay? And then once we do this, we'll get outside, well, all in our own neighborhoods and places for a little bit of running there. So, okay, let's start in about 30 seconds. We're gonna start with shoulder press first. All right, 15 strict shoulder press on this first minute. 10 seconds. In 5, 3, 2, 1, go. There you go. Pull that weight back a little. There you go. Nice, Noah. Good fix. Yep, you want your biceps by the ears at the top. Don't let that weight float forward. Keep your midline tight. You're going for 15 here. You can always take a break if you need to. Nice job, y'all. We're about 30 seconds in. "15 seconds. Our next movement's gonna be that hollow rock, so you can always lay down, face up. All right, we're gonna go in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so you can always use those progressions if you want, but you're going for 20 reps. Keep that low back into the ground. Nice job, y'all. Keep working. Nice. Good, Navarro. Those look great. All right, 20 seconds. Then we're on to those lateral raises. Back to that kneeling position. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go. So think about lifting from your wrists. Good, yep. Keeping your midline tight. Nice job, y'all. Also, when you're lifting, right, you want to think about the way that you're holding that weight. Your pinkies and your pointer fingers are all lifting at the same time. Kind of lost count, but I think that was 15. All right, 20 seconds. What are we on? Ooh, plank knee to elbow. Finishing out round 1 here. So you got 20 reps, 10 each side, 20 total reps here. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go. Try to keep your hips nice and level. Try to touch your exact knee to your exact elbow, right? Be accurate in your movements. And you can always cross too, right? Takes a little bit more mobility in your back to cross. Once you're done with 20, go ahead and rest. If you're feeling those a lot on your wrists, you can always do them on your forearm. And if you had dumbbells, you can also put your hands on dumbbells when you're in that high plank position, and that can help, you know, alleviate a little bit of pressure on your wrists. But okay, round 2, y'all. Back to shoulder press. 2, 1, go. 15 reps here. There you go, yep. Biceps by the ears at the top. Keep your core tight. Think about your left and right going up at the same pace. Same path on the way up and on the way down. Nice job, y'all. Once you're done with 15, go ahead and rest. Yes, good work. All right, 15 seconds. We're back to our hollow rocks for 20. 10 seconds. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Keep your quads on, your glutes on. Small little rocks. Going for 20 reps. Nice job. Whew. Remember hollow rocks being so difficult the first time learning them. They get easier, I promise. Keep working them. They're a great athletic position. All right, we're back to those lateral raises. 10 seconds. 15 reps again. 3, 2, 1, go. Try to just bring them even with your shoulders. You can pause for a moment at the top. Keep lifting, you know, just as much with your pinky as you are with your pointer finger. Don't forget about the pinky. Going for 15. Whoo, shoulder's getting tired. Oh yeah. All right, finish those 15 reps and then we're back to that plank knee to elbow for 20. Finishing round 2, right? Yep. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go. Going for 20 here. Keep your hips level with your shoulders, right? It's not a mountain climber. Using your core to pull that knee in towards your elbow. Should feel a lot more strength-based than cardio-based. You can go same side or cross. It's up to you. Nice job, y'all. 20 reps. Break them up if you need to. That's okay. 20 seconds here. Then we're on to our third and final round. We're back to shoulder press in 10 seconds. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Keep thinking those biceps by the ears. Keep your midline tucked, right? So we don't want to be arched at the top. Got to keep that belly button back to spine. Ribs tucked down. Yeah, and when I say ribs tucked down, that just means like trying to get in that nice flat spine position, because if we're arched, right, that means all of our little vertebrae then are going to be pinched. Whereas if I tuck my ribs down, that's going to get my back flatter and straighter and way more safe. All right, back to our hollow rocks. Last time through here, y'all. We got 3 more minutes. 3, 2, 1, go. 20 reps. Last set of hollow rocks. Nice job, y'all. Way to work. "30 seconds in. Yep, 20 reps, then rest. Then our last shoulder movement, lateral raises. 20 seconds. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go. There you go. Nice tight midline. Nice control on the way up and on the way down. Nice job, y'all. Keeping that breath nice and steady. Try to stay relaxed in your neck. Moving through those hands. Last set of 15 here. All right, 10 seconds. We're on to our last set, knee to elbow. Then we're headed out for a little running / speed walking. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Last 20 reps. You got this. Nice job. Keep collecting those reps. We're almost done. "30 seconds. Finish it up. 20 reps there. Nice work, y'all. About 10 more seconds. All right, go ahead and rest if you're not already. And then let's talk about the last part of what we're going to do today, as well as some, modifications there. So it is in the chat box, but you're going to look to do at least 3 rounds, right? You might even do as many as 7 rounds, really depending on, how you're feeling here, okay? So you're gonna do 3 rounds at least, right? Of 2 minutes of either running, jogging, speed walking. You could even, if you have some cardio equipment at home, right? If you have a bike or a treadmill or a rower or, whatever kinds of things you might have at home, you could also do that, use that equipment rather than running, but the same concept where you're gonna do 2 minutes of hard work, right? And then 1 minute of walking or intentionally jogging or walking there. Yeah, Nabal, what's up?
I have a volleyball game today. Does that count as can that count as my running?
I would still try to get the running in, but you know, that 2 minutes when you're, you know, typically you would be going all out. I just wouldn't go as hard as you normally would.
Okay.
And just only do the 3 rounds. So, because then that would be what, like 6 minutes of work is all, right? It's not a ton there. So, and then, yeah, if it feels good, right? If after 3 rounds, you're like, you know, I still have a lot of energy. This feels great. I'm going to try one more. You could keep doing that all the way up to 7 rounds. Okay. I would suggest you go out and get it done now, right? You're nice and warm. Your adrenaline's up. Go get it done and just see how you feel afterwards there. Okay. So I'll check Nabaa in because she had her camera on. Everyone else, make sure you either submit a time-lapse video or answer those